preview the upcoming gymnastics season and also the season opener we have coming up this Saturday at Minnesota. We're just going to jump right into questions for Coach. So if you have questions, go ahead and raise your hand. But Evan, if that's you, if you want to get started, you can take it away.
Yes. Yeah. Everything's been going good. We're ready to go. It feels like we hit this point every year where we're just kind of chomping at the bit to get out there because the preseason gets a little long. But the team is doing well. We had a pretty big bout of some illness surrounding the holidays. We had just before and just right after. I think the flu has gone through almost every single person on the team, just about. So that was unfortunate and, cut out obviously a few days of training, but I think they have recovered really well from that. And everyone's feeling good and healthy and ready to go for this weekend at Minnesota. I mean, first and foremost, I'd say winning the meet, but more than that, just hitting 24 for 24 strong routines. I mean, I'm not expecting perfection on this first weekend. I'm not expecting us to be at our best yet. I mean, that would be way too early. So to have a strong start, hitting every routine, knowing obviously there's going to be a few things that we'll need to clean up as the season goes on. That's expected. But hitting all those routines would be my expectation and definitely something they're capable of doing. And just an overall confidence, like being able to start strong and not show any fear in their performances. That's something we've talked a lot about as we've gone into inter squads and training this preseason is how do we make our desire to succeed greater than our fear of failure. So that's something we've really dialed in on, and I'm hoping I can see that in just their performances and their attitudes this weekend in Minnesota. Yep.
Tom, go ahead. You might be muted, Tom.
Can you hear me now, Jordyn?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, doing this on my phone's a little different. So you have so many newcomers. What do you think about opening on the road with a lot of newcomers and freshmen who will be in your lineup?
I mean, I think it's exciting. Our freshmen have had a really good preseason, and we've got a couple that are going to be massive contributors this season. So I'm excited to just get them out there, get their feet wet. We saw a little bit of just what they were going to do under pressure when we had our gym back preview here at the beginning of December. And I was really pleased with a lot of those performances. It definitely showed us a lot of what we needed to know, but they're ready. They're excited, and we told them, in the recruitment process, like be ready to contribute freshman year, and they've done a really good job of just stepping up to the plate. And it's exciting having both this young energy on the team as far as the lineups go, but also a lot of experience and a lot of veterans and people coming back from injury that we were missing last year. So there's so much excitement, there's so much talent, but I'm really mostly excited to see those newcomers just shine when they really deserve it because they've put in the hard work.
Yeah, and then Lauren and Leah, who I think you just referenced, what does it mean maybe to have them back at close to full strength now?
I mean, it's huge. Lauren obviously has been so big for us on floor and vault, especially. She's also looked really strong on beam. To be honest, beam is probably our deepest event as far as depth. It's going to be very difficult for me to choose the lineup each weekend, which is a good problem to have. But Lauren has really stepped up on beam as well as, being back to her full strength, if not better, on floor and vault. So I'm really excited to get her back out there. It's been a long journey of recovery for her with her elbow injury. And then Leah, same thing. I mean, we had her in almost half of the season last year, so not having her going into the postseason was a really big piece of adversity for us. But she's excited. She's as healthy as she's ever been in her entire 5 years here. So I'm excited for Leah to be back out there. And same with her. She's looking really strong on the 3 events that she trains, and I fully expect her to be in all 3 of those lineups.
If things go according to plan, would you have 3 all-arounders for the opener, or what do you think?
It's still TBD. We haven't finalized lineups yet. Jocelyn is still not fully back on vault yet, so we won't expect her to be competing vault, but she should be in on the other three events. We do expect Morgan Price and Allison Cucci to be in the all around, and then another contender for the all around is Haley Klein. She's someone that has historically competed three events, but has really stepped up on bars, so she may be in the all around as well. It just sort of depends on how the next few days of training goes.
All right, that's all I had for today. Thanks.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Evan, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, Cami, I mean, there's been a lot of people that have really stepped up on events that they haven't competed in the past. Cami is one of those. She's hasn't competed floor since she's been at Arkansas, and she will be competing floor this weekend. So I'm excited for her. She's worked really hard. It took us a while to figure out what, floor routine construction was going to fit her best. But she's looking really good on that event. She's really stepping up as a leader, especially on an event like balance beam, where she's been a steady contributor in the lineup, but this should be her best competitive year yet across the board. So I'm excited for her. It is really cool to be able to say a fifth year is going to be at their best in their fifth year of competition, because that is a rare thing. So I'm excited for Cami. I think it's impacting every school a little differently depending on just the level. It's something that we're heavily involved in, and we're very excited to be able to say that when it comes to both NIL and revenue sharing and things of that sort. So I'm excited for athletes to have that opportunity, and it really is sort of a necessary element in our conference, and with just the schools that we are up against. It is a necessary component. So I'm excited to say that, we're heavily involved in that area, and our athletes are getting some really cool opportunities. And we will continue to move in that direction. Yeah, I think, for Beam, it's been a combination of helping to grow the Beam confidence of the team members that have been competing year after year, while also simultaneously recruiting people that just have that it quality on balance beam. That is something that it's hard to teach. It oftentimes you can develop it for sure, but we were really looking in the recruiting process for those athletes that feel very comfortable up on the balance beam, especially under the highest amounts of pressure. And someone that really fits in that category, someone like Allison Cucci, who's our all-arounder freshman, who is just set to have an incredible freshman year. You will notice she has that it quality on beam. We saw it at the preview. We see it every single day in practice. She's so solid up there. She just has that confidence level. So that, and then adding someone like Morgan Price in the lineup, who has competed in the all-around every single meet of her entire career so far at Fisk. So we have some really experienced beamers in the lineup, which I'm excited about that. But, I really want to start the season strong on balance beam. I don't want to take half the season to really build our confidence. So I've been challenging them big time in practice to figure out how to just own their time up there on the beam, and be confident, and just really embrace the performance of that event, just the same as they do on something like a floor exercise. So I'm excited about beam. We've got so much potential in that event. And I told them the other day, we have potential to be one of the best beam teams in the country, hands down. And I don't just say that. I really do mean that. They just have to go out there and do the performances and show it. Thank you.
Any more questions for Coach Wieber?
Jump in with one quick one. Jordyn, we talk about football and basketball players when they've been out for a long time that maybe they can't find that game speed. There's nothing in practice that simulates a true game. Is there any correlation with gymnastics when you've been out that long? When you get back, is it like you've never been gone, or is there something in practice that feels like a meet when you've been out for a year or half a year?
I think it's very unique to each athlete. Obviously there are some athletes that thrive under the lights and the pressure, and just crave that competitive environment. And those are the athletes that, once they get back into competition mode, that it's like no time has passed. I think a good example of that is someone like Lauren Williams. I can just tell from how she has performed in inter squads, how she looked at the preview. She is ready to go. She has missed competing. She loves competing. And we do try to do as many possible scenarios and pressure situations in practice. We do our gym back preview, which is in front of fans in our competition venue. That is as close as you can get to feeling like a real competition without another team there. So we really try to utilize all of the months of our preseason to prepare them, not just physically, but mentally. Like you said, there's not that perfect thing that can simulate what a meet feels like. You just, part of it is you have to just buy into, hey, I can bring my best when my best is required. And I love when I have 10,000 people watching me and performing in front of those fans. So we're trying to kind of build that more and more into our culture. We have a really competitive team. This year, every year it gets a little more competitive, but they want to win and they want to go out there and compete. So I'm excited about that. And that really helps, especially if you've been out for a while due to injury.
Thank you.